Hello. Got Jennie and little Johnie down there.
And Roro.
And Ro. Mayhem. Versus chaos and pandemonium.
They've already had their kitty treats, so they've gone off to nap for the time being, as Lucy did.
Nice.
Lucy's on the sofa with her eyes closed.
I know I've said this quite a few times on every stream, but I'll say it again for anybody that's new. YouTube is rolling out midstream ads during live streams. I have no control over that. It pops up when it pops up. If it happens, I'm sorry. They should be skippable. I'm not sure, because I was watching Lori. I saw it happen on her channel a couple times. I saw it happen on Autumn's as well.
Here's chaos.
I know people that have premium don't have to worry about it, but it's just the way it is now. So my apologies in advance. That's out of my control. So I see Mayhem's butt or Chaos's butt.
To the person who keeps commenting on my videos, they don't like it when we eat on camera. Go watch something else.
I was gonna say, oh, I got M&Ms. Hold on. Let me get my M&Ms so I can eat on camera.
I'm eating Skittles left over from Halloween. I'm doing this just for you to annoy you. We're doing this during our dinner hours, so to speak, and sometimes we're hungry.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock over here right now. I know it's 5 o'clock where Johnie is, and 6 years?
7.
7 years? That's
you're not allowed to be human while you read tarot cards. So
yeah.
You can't stand watching somebody eating in a video. What do you do when you go out to eat? You tell everybody else, no, don't eat me.
You know?
Don't ever tell an Aries what gets on your nerves. I will push that button. As well as block you from my channel. So
anything going on, you guys? Anything you want to?
I have a new Sacred Sounds of Coffee I did with Gail Friday morning, so you can see that on my channel. If you go to my playlist, you'll see it. To schedule a reading, if you want one, I've got some openings in December. Might be a handful left in November. I'm taking the week after Christmas off and back in the new year. JinlinTarot.com.
We'll get a reading.
Johnny's doing readings again. Mm-hmm. I saw your live stream the other night.
Yeah, for next week. I meant to go live yesterday, but sinus has been not my friend these past few days, and so there's that.
Your sinuses?
No, yes, they're special right now.
I had that same problem last night. I had to take allergy medicine because that night I just started going crazy, and it was like Niagara Falls, and I'm sitting there with tissue paper shoved up my nose. Make it stop.
Darren, remind me when we're on my channel again to make you a moderator, fellow Aries. I know you'd be a good one.
What else, Johnny?
Yeah. That was it. Yesterday was I couldn't pull it together. So there's that. That's it. I might start a class next year in January. So
you say next year, but it really is like a month and a half away.
We're already talking about yes, we're gonna go live Christmas Eve. Yes, we'll probably be doing a fundraiser New Year's Eve again.
But I don't know when. It'll be on the Sunday, though.
I was telling Jennie that I'm not sure about how I'm going to set up for grand tableaus during the week because I had to move my work stuff in here while the house is under repair.
Becca has a pod in front of her house with all her stuff in storage.
I was telling Jennie that little table, it's a tiny little table that you put next to the couch. It goes over the arm of the couch where you can set your drinks and stuff. You know those little things? It was sitting in the pool room. Johnny, you've been to my house where the pool room is off the kitchen. It was sitting in there. Everything, a lot of stuff that they couldn't fit in the pod, they put in there. They took that damn table out of there and put it in the pod. I'm like,
is this big?
You know, I was looking in that because we have stuff all over this house because it's all of downstairs and then my office next door. So my office for my work stuff is up here now. So I was looking at that. I'm like, because I was like, oh, I can just use that little table. I go looking for it. Can't find it. I'm like, it's in the watch it be all the way in the back of the goddamn pod too. Unload everything.
I remember one time I was when I was moving up here, they packed my dirty laundry. I was like, you know, leave that alone. I'm gonna wash it and pack it in my suitcases to take with me so I have some clothes to wear, right? So they packed my dirty laundry. I was like, damn it.
But that's the thing. That little side table thing, whatever you want to call it, was perfectly fine in that room. They had no reason to take it out of there to put it into the pod. It's like, it's only the living room, dining room, and family room and my office that needed to get moved. They went into some other room and took one thing out and put it. So I was like telling Jen, I was like, I want to do some grand tableaus, but I don't know how it's going to work out over there because I have no room. And it's not like I have another table in the house because everything is packed up. You know, so we'll see. I'll have to try to get creative. But
I was telling Becca the Halloween special video got demonetized. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I got the music from YouTube, but I drug it into StreamYard. And yes, that was part of it. But there was other stuff that they said, no, your video is unsuitable for advertising. I said, it must have been the skeleton hands on the boobs that I kept grabbing. And
that's so dumb. That's so dumb.
They wouldn't remonetize it. They said the music was fine. It was something else.
I don't know. Anything else, you guys? I know it's daylight savings time, so happy daylight. I like daylight saving times. I hate the sun, so I'm happy when I wake up and it's dark outside and it's dark at like 4 o'clock. All I need now is just the miserable weather to show up, and I'll be all set. So
I had to adjust the Christmas tree timer because it gets dark earlier.
Well, it hasn't. This morning I woke up and I looked at the clock. Because, you know, the iPhones and phones and stuff just automatically do it, you know, computers too. And I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. I was like, wow, I never wake up at 7 by myself. And then I remembered, oh, daylight savings when I went downstairs and my phone says it's 7, but my microwave says it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, so happy daylights. And I think that's all we got for chit chat. Yeah. Shoot.
I'm still celebrating our 4-year anniversary. I can't believe we've been doing this for 4 years.
Well, I haven't been with you guys for 4, the whole 4.
3 3/4.
So congratulations to these two. Wait, yeah, these two.
You've been with us almost 4 years.
That's 4. It's still 4.
So yeah. Okie dokie. So I guess we could start with are you guys ready, or did you want to give Gabby some more? Are you ready?
Ready?
I saw on Midas Touch that Trump's lawyers just got gagged as well.
Make attorneys get attorneys, gag attorneys.
His lawyer, Alina Habba, and the other dude got gagged in New York. Now, here's the thing. When Trump got sanctioned twice by the judge, what's his name? Erdogan, or I can't remember the guy's name. The judge in
Drogan or something. Drogan. I get him and the president of Turkey mixed up.
I do too, because they both start with an E.
Erdogan versus
Judge E.
Judge E, that guy.
Y'all know the New York judge.
When Judge E sanctioned Trump twice, the check was made out by Alina Habba.
In Goron, thank you. I know if somebody wrote it, I would be able to say it right. in Goran.
When he got fined that 15 grand, it was 5 and then 10. She was the one that wrote out the check. Now she's getting gagged as well, and the other lawyer too. So can we ask if they're going to get fined?
The lawyers?
The lawyers? Because these are his lawyers, and I have a follow-up question because they haven't jailed Trump yet.
What's the world coming to? Fishy, itchy kitty called Hobart, a vaping groper.
Vaping, groping, Bobert or something like that.
Vaping groper.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling each other out.
So will the lawyers get sanctioned?
You think, Ro? Sanctions coming?
Yeah, Valerie, I see that. Erdogan, and then I already forgot the guy's name.
In Goran.
Yeah, they're similar.
You're grabbing my hand. What are you doing? Are you gonna pull cards? Oh my, you're frisky tonight. I'd love to see one of the judges put in jail or one of the lawyers put in jail.
I'm going to ask that too, because everybody's been hesitant because it's the former president, when any one of us would have already had our asses thrown in prison or jail pending trial. We all know that.
I say yes. Strength and you know, that's a yes card for me. Emotions overrunning, and to be practical because they're trying to protect people in the court. Because they keep talking about the law clerk, the poor law clerk. I give it 3 days, and I get there will be a threat of, do you want to go to jail too? Like, y'all need to change your losing habits here, and the judge speaking up. So 3 days.
What does that mean, Johnny?
I got all the same cards. There are 3 of wands. I got an ace of sword, but 8 of sword. So yes, because he keeps demanding more extremes, Donald Trump, and so their strategy is not a winning strategy because they know what they're up against. They know who they're representing, and so they're coming up with any kind of scheme, any kind of lie, any kind of thing that they can try to poison the public with, and that type of thing. So he keeps demanding extremes, and then they keep meeting them, and then eventually they're going to, and it's coming soon, mind you. 3 of wands is anticipation. This is around the corner, so the judge will hand down some punishment to them too, because they can't stop because he says so.
I get there's a happy little offer coming to a female that works in the law. So maybe Haba more so than whoever the man is. But I get a woman clear as day. So will any of his lawyers get thrown in the jail?
I get they're going to threaten them with jail if they keep it up. Will any of them go to jail?
I have so many plants now, you guys. I have nowhere else to put plants.
I don't know if I've ever heard of lawyers getting gagged, that they can't even learn to shut their mouths.
That's what happens when you get your lawyers off of the TV.
Well, when they're trying to say what he wants them to say all the time, so now they're getting their own butts in trouble. And they're speculating, too, that Letitia will go for criminal indictments once she wins this. Well, she's already won it, but once they sentence it.
The criminal stuff I thought was from Alvin Bragg.
Oh, Alvin,
well, she's not doing criminal now. She can do criminal later. Is what
she can do criminal later, but it has to be approved in New York by the governor. So they would have to have the governor's permission.
So he would get criminally charged by Bragg? and Letitia James.
Uh-huh.
Oh, bring it, girl. Bring it.
Because she's got all the evidence already. She doesn't even have to do an investigation. And she's already won the case. It's just a matter of what the punishment is.
I don't think they'll be in jail necessarily. I get former ones will, yes. So one has already, Sidney Powell, that's not his lawyer. But former ones of the past, they are going to be heavily pressured. So Giuliani and somebody else possibly. But I think he's about to lose some too. The 6 of Swords and 10 of Swords. So there's going to be some shakeups when it comes to lawyers. This is a couple months down the line. So starting into the new year, he may lose one and retain one. But that's going to be his cycle, though. He's going to keep doing that because he's been doing that. So I don't get jail for any of them, but he's about to lose some.
Yeah, I get one of the lawyers gets very emotional and is going to do it again, spout off. They're going to block the fighting. So I think there's going to be an offer made for their silence. So whether that's fining them bigger fines, it's just a matter of time. It's like, y'all, this case is going to be over by the first week of December. So why they're running their mouths so much and having to pay all these fines on something that's already decided, except you got the 2 Trump kids that act like they don't realize it's already decided. It's a witch hunt. You're already found guilty.
Well, they found the witch.
A whole bunch of them too. I get financial stuff. So they'll probably fines. To stay on this little thing about going after the judge's clerk. Now that we've talked about Trump and the lawyers, it was left on my community page, and I apologize in advance because I've been out of it. I haven't watched any news. They're saying that Elise Stefanik and other Trump allies are now attacking the judge's clerk. Is that true?
The I don't know who it was, but the judge addressed it. He said he had the feeling that there was you call it misogyny because they keep referring to her in derogatory terms, and she apparently passed the judge a note, and they said that that's wrong and she shouldn't pass you notes and all that. She's like in on the case and she's influencing you, and like they went there with the whole thing because again they're throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks, and so yeah, they're attacking the clerk now.
So I mean, there's not anything I don't think the judge can do to the members of Congress because they're hiding behind the government, but I would love to see him go, hey, DOJ, witness tampering and, all that other stuff. Here's the members of Congress. Here's their names. Here's everything you need to know. Go fetch them. But that's just me speculating. I don't know. I don't think there's much he can do. So can we ask if the members of Congress that are intimidating or going after the law clerk be reprimanded in any way?
You could sue him for defamation.
Well, Elise Stefanik is such a piece of shit.
They all are.
She's like Ted Cruz in a skirt. I can't with that woman. I can't. She's a piece of shit, dude. I can't with her.
Mike Johnson with his invisible money, no bank accounts. And they're all just a bunch of crooks.
I don't know what happens exactly, but they do eventually stop this. There is the GOP there, 10 of Pentacles and 6 of Swords. They move on from this. They're injured in some way. Because in the word warning is the 5 of swords. There's your defeat. So they do lose this in particular fight. And they're tied to Donald Trump via the judge here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe it's hurting his in particular case, maybe, or something like that. Maybe that's why they back off. But there's an action by a lawyer as well. And so maybe they get letters, or maybe one of his lawyers are saying, hey, stop because it's hurting this and blah, 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 blah. But it puts them in a position to juggle something else. And so something comes their way that causes them to now fight on 2 fronts. And so therefore they drop this eventually this way again.
Yeah, because I get, America is watching and waiting, and they will have indictments. There will be actions taken. But I think it's the bully. I think it's Jack Smith, that gets them. So I'm getting about 3 months. So around January, February, about 3 months, some people are going to have regrets. Things that they're saying are just going to, like, keep talking. That's more evidence. Something, right after Christmas.
I get that the loyalists are linked, and then there's this right here. I don't know if you can see that, the lilies. There's going to be something coming from either the judge or someone higher up, like a very senior person that's like, hey, knock it off. And like Johnie said, it's hurting his case, but this is all part of the Trump campaign via proxy. I can't do it. I got gagged. My lawyers just got gagged. My kids are about to get gagged. Congress, go do your job. Come defend me.
Because his other defense was his lawyer said he should be acquitted of the Jan 6 stuff because he was acquitted in the Senate. Therefore, he's not guilty of anything because they said so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's not how any of this works, Donnie. That's not how any of this works.
Acquitted in the Senate because Mitch McConnell said, let the courts handle it.
Yep. So the kids, Junior and I eat paste, huh?
I eat paste and I pour concrete. The wall liquor pours concrete.
Can we just call him I eat concrete? I mean,
I eat paste and pour concrete and lick walls.
He's over there with in a cup with a little spoon, just sitting there eating concrete.
He's got to have the 3 fingers like Donnie.
Yeah. He's eating a grout between the concrete blocks.
I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught little snippets here and there on Twitter, but it looked like a crap show. No, I didn't do it. I mean, I don't know what that is. I mean, that wasn't me. We were advised.
Junior was cracking jokes and thinking he was being all cute and flip and everything. And it's like, you're totally unbelievable by the judge who's already found you guys guilty. So you're just adding to, the money you're going to have to pay when this is all over. And this can still go criminal.
And they got caught lying.
Which we kept getting perjury. They got lying that they
more
knew
than
what
once.
To sit there and say I don't know anything about appraisals and stuff. Then why are you in a business where you're doing real estate development? Hello,
not to
you're
mention
the most
all
incompetent
emails,
businessmen ever.
Not to mention all the emails that they have. Exhibit A.
Yeah,
Exhibit
say that
B.
again. You didn't know anything about it. Well.
Yeah. I mean, this is worse than like a little kid getting stuck with their hand in the cookie jar. The dog made me do it. Like, it's worse than that.
This is like a dog getting its head stuck in the cookie jar and can't get it out. Oh no.
I mean, it's just I wish I could have been. I need to find the videos and watch the whole thing, because it was just like, besides the point that I can't stand the sound of any of them, but just watching the highlights of just the absolute verbal diarrhea was just like.
And then Melania, I can't testify, it's a school week. And then she's shown out shopping on Fifth Avenue.
Ivanka.
It's like, I don't have nannies or anything or a husband to take care of the kids. It's a school week.
Yeah,
can't
Johnny
trust
had a
that
fun
guy.
little rant about that the other night on his live stream.
I could run to LA for the Kardashian birthday party, but
with
it's
a
a
maxi
school
pad
day.
on my head.
But okay, but again, if it's a school week, where are your kids? If they in school, then bring your behind the court while they in school.
That's right.
What's your day job? Ain't like you got nothing else to do. I see it too. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make it 10 a.m. for you while the kids are in school.
Bring your lawyer.
Bring the kids, bring the nanny, bring everybody.
So did she go already?
No, she goes this week because they denied her appeal. Talk about
and
feeling
Trump
entitled
too, right?
That was the weakest excuse. My husband got $2 billion from the Saudis, but I can't.
Who took care of her kids
nanny?
when she was? Who took care of her kids when she was working?
Traveling
at the White House.
Mm-hmm.
When she was working at the White House, meaning fucking grifting off taxpayers
and flying over to Saudi Arabia all the time.
Who was watching her kids? Call them same people up. I'm sure they're still around. But so she goes.
I'm sure she didn't leave them with daddy. You know, I wouldn't trust any of the kids with daddy.
Or Melania either. Besides the fact she can't see for shit. But
What children? But it's funny because Trump keeps going on about attacking his kids. It's like they're in their 40s. They're adults.
Yeah.
Business people supposedly that had the power, in your office while you were president.
Mm-hmm. But they're children. Okay.
But they're children.
Attacking his kid.
Attacking my kid.
What are their names?
Boy 1, boy 2, and the girl that's my daughter that I'd like to F.
Yeah.
Who told Eric to use the excuse of I pour concrete? Like, what kind of legal advice is that?
Can we read on that? Like, why did he think it was a good idea to say he pours?
I pour concrete.
The guy gets more manicures than all of us combined. Okay, he's over there with Jared Kushner getting his eyebrows did and his nails done.
He got himself
He's
trending.
Talking about you pouring concrete.
He got himself trending on all social media, though. I pour concrete.
Yeah, I pace the construction worker because I can totally see that.
I'm signing off on all these things in the office, all this paperwork, exhibit A, B, C, D, and E. And I pour concrete.
So why did Eric say he pours concrete?
That's advice of someone who is supposed to be of legal mind with the Queen of Swords and Two of Swords. It's more of the okay. So here you would have family. That's landscaping. The Empress is the Garden of Eden and nature and all that. So there's your landscaping. It's more like tell them you had mundane duties instead of I pour concrete. It's I think he took it there himself because his imagination is quite interesting. But he was supposed to just go and say, I trim trees, I pour concrete, I answer the phone, Domino's, it's supposed to be one of them type of things. But it's Eric, so
all that
that's
paste.
all you're gonna get.
All that paste.
Well, I think it was a drunk lawyer because I get a lawyer trying to hang on to this and saying separate yourself from the thievery, and create chaos. But it's almost like they were drunk when they came up with this idea. Try to show your secure lifestyle and that you contract out for others to look over all this stuff, that shared responsibility with other people in the office. But it went nowhere because his real estate business is dead.
I've seen, his wife over there is now walking around with besides her stellar singing career that she's trying to learn. I guess she's trying to go into modeling or an influencer business too, because now she's been all over Instagram and stuff, posting videos of her in a pink MAGA hat, but the letters are like the Barbie script. It doesn't say Barbie, it says MAGA, you know, and it's just like she's over there all. It's like
looking
girl,
for Ken.
Yeah, she's the next Britney Spears.
Yeah, stop. I get he said that because his business is in trouble and he's in deep, deep trouble with the law. It's fish, snake, sun, tower, and then man. So his dad is going under oath tomorrow, right? After the judge has already said he finds the witness not credible. So that's going to be fun. He sat there and looked the judge right in the eye and told him that he wasn't talking smack about his law clerk, that he was talking about Michael Cohen. He looked at the judge in the eye and straight up lied to his face like a 4-year-old petulant child. It's like, dude.
I don't understand why you would represent somebody you can't get to stop talking.
The kids lie as poorly as the dad does too. Hey, Lori, I see Lori in the chat.
Hi, Lori. So let's see. How's it going to go for Spanky tomorrow under oath?
I mean, the judge already told him he wasn't believable the last time he was on the stand.
Yeah, because he put him up on the stand because he kept trashing the law clerk. So he put him under oath, put him on the stand and said, who were you talking about? I wasn't talking about her. I was talking about Michael Cohen. And the judge is like, the person sitting next to me? Yeah. So he perjured himself in front of the judge, lied to his face about him not attacking the law clerk. He was attacking Michael Cohen, who, by the way, is a witness. So either way, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know? So how's it going to go for Spanky tomorrow?
Just stop talking.
They can't tell the truth about anything.
He needs one of those shot collars, you know.
Yes.
Retrain the
What
brain.
lawyer can just, hide it under every time he don't say nothing. It's like he's having little jolts in the chair right there, and
Maybe hear him yelp every time.
Like, you have to be that extreme with him, because how do you win a case possibly if you can't gag him at all?
They're counting on the appeal case, I'm sure, which isn't going to go anywhere.
It's not going to go anywhere. The only reason he's there now is because they're trying to figure out how much he should be paying. He's already been found guilty.
Yeah.
His certificates of business have already been revoked, so Trump Org is dead in New York. So, Spirit of Halloween coming soon. I smell perjury again.
Was that Johnny? Do you mean to tell me he is incapable of telling the truth? Completely and utterly incapable.
I wouldn't believe you if your tongue was notarized. Ace of Wands and the Six of Swords. I don't like watching people be questioned, but I might try to find some sort of play-by-play of whoever's talking about that, because he's going to slosh through it. It is not going to be cute. It's not going to be easy. There, mind you, is Helena Haba Baba, that's his lawyer right now?
That's one of
Okay,
them.
that's the same one who said Trump does not need prep. And I did the reading, and I'm like, why doesn't he need prep? Why is she saying that? Because she can't herd cats. That's why. Because she can't get him to sit still to pay attention to what he needs to do, which is going to hurt him now that he's sitting on the stand. They still can't prep him. I bet you they're not doing it right now. He's probably somewhere in the McDonald's drive-thru disguising his voice so he can order extra stuff. He is not going to do very well because he can't. He's incapable. And there's the, mind you, he's not going to jail. But there's the threat of it, because I think there's perjury. Word of warning, 8 of Swords. It ends 5 of Swords, 10 of Swords. So he is defeated and loses a whole bunch of stuff. And so this is going to put the nail in the coffin for Trump Org anyway. And so there's that.
Yeah, there's going to be more illumination because he's going to be burdened by lying. He can't stop lying. And I think the big judge is watching all of this. And when everything is said and done, I think there's going to be partnering in another case, and there's going to be an abundance of other legal issues coming up. He's going to get fined for perjury, or indicted, but he's got other legal cases coming up. He's just creating all this chaos, and they're just taking it all in. It's like, bring it. It's more evidence for the next case.
I got the sun, the birds, the whip, the lilies, and the key. I would not. When he speaks, he's gonna be very heated and angry and critical, and I would not be surprised if he starts criticizing either the judge or a senior person. He's gonna be birds and whip, very critical, angry. You see what I'm saying? Biting. That's gonna. I triple dog dare you. I triple dog dare you.
I got a question.
Judge. Yeah.
Did Letitia James ever imagine these idiots would be this bad in court and this blatant in court? Did she see? I mean, because she took testimonies from them in the depositions and everything.
But Jennie, here's the thing: we all know the Trump and Trump kid playbook: delay, 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 appeal, 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 delay, 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 appeal.
I didn't know about that. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, plead the fifth 400 and something times. And then I pleaded the fifth more than his dad. I think it was 500 and something times.
Eric Trump would have been better off pleading the fifth than saying what he said, because then they brought the evidence out.
But okay, so did Letitia James think
expect it to be this stupid, that they would be this stupid in court? Cocky and stupid. I know she anticipated delays and stuff, but did she expect them to be this stupid and cocky?
Yes. The whip, the tree, and the bouquet. Yes. Growing arguments, growing disputes that grow and grow and grow. She anticipated it. She knows. That's the only thing. And then there's something also here about pleasurable sex. So that's probably the part of the Stormy Daniels thing with Michael Cohen being involved. But
yep, she knew what she's anticipating something though. She wants more because she knows during their testimony that there was more they could have given. So that's why. Now, mind you, she's a smart cookie, period. But that's why she's sitting in on everybody's cases. There's something you didn't tell me that I'm about to find out, and she knows that. She trusts her instincts, which is a good thing. And so, yes, she has anticipated that they, as the song says, they are hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it. And so she knows this.
For the person in the chat that was asking, you can plead the fifth in a civil case. The thing is, you plead the fifth, the judge can infer that you're guilty. Whereas in a criminal case, when you plead the fifth, they can't infer anything. In a civil case,
better to infer guilt than to perjure yourself.
Yeah. So pleading the fifth in a civil case, not good, because it can be used against you. As in, yeah, they did it, they just don't want to say it.
Yeah, Letitia James, she's like, it was only a matter of time. She knew they were going to create chaos for attention in this case. But she's been a little bit surprised at some of the details, and she's waiting on another surprise to come out. She was expecting them to structure it all around delays. But the talking, it's like the crazy talk. She's like, they're going to regret that. She's got strength in another court case. She's just waiting and looking at all the options. She is not finished with him yet. She wants to see him in jail. She is not done. She's going to take it to the governor, I guarantee you, and try to get
since we're talking about that, since they all lied under oath. Well, so far, just wait. Trump's already lied under oath to the judges face one.
Wait a minute. Is Ivanka going to lie under oath? Let's check on her.
Is Yankee gonna lie? Yankee Maxi pat on her head. Is she gonna lie under oath?
She probably has like 5 nannies, and she's gonna lie under oath. I'll be curious to see if she can hold on to her daddy talk, her soft voice through the whole trial, or she gets pissed off and brings out her real voice.
Because according to Michael Cohen, she curses more than I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
and that voice ain't how she really talks.
She curses, though. It's different. She curses because it's a part of rebellion.
For her?
Yeah. Kind of like being Ivy League. That's not how you talk. Mm-hmm. But she can do it because she's rebelling.
Oh, look at her. Such a rebel. Such a rebel that she's also... Look at her. All she needs now is a time in the slammer to go with that whole getup.
Yeah. Smoking in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. You want to worry about your kids? Let's see how you handle it when you're locked up. They don't have nannies in prison, Ivanka.
Exactly, Peggy. Peggy's saying, remember when she made Secret Service use the porta potties outside of their house when they were fucking bitch, man. I can't.
Putting their life on the line for you, but they can't use your restroom. Gotcha. Okay.
Ooh, she is anxious. What are you getting, Johnny?
Yes, yes, and yes. It starts with the liar, with the Page of Swords.
Oh, look at that.
And then judgment follows. So she may lie repeatedly or try to lie about the same thing once the question is reposed. And so they may ask her the same question multiple times, just in different phrases. And so she does continue the lie. Because I asked, is she going to knowingly perjure herself? And so, yes, Page of Swords, liar, Eight of Swords, and the Devil. So, yes, she is going to knowingly perjure because she's trying to hold on to information that she cannot. And it has something to do with the Empire and pressure. So I don't know how long she's going to be up there, but she's going to crack. See how many curse words you say then.
They already know the truth. I have that in the past. They've already got the details, but she's going to be sneaky and try to hang on. And something that she says, everybody's going to be like, what? What'd you say? Say that again. I think she'll end up turning her back on the family. That's just a matter of time, with the hopes that she can heal things later with them, with her love relationships. She's going to give a little info. She's going to be very chaotic, bouncing around. And I get a Tower moment. Like, she gets tripped up in her words and perjured herself, says something she's trapped in. She's going to end up facing other legal issues. She might have gotten out of this one. She's going to be facing other legal issues.
I get the storks, the anchor, and the tree. Yes, she's going to try to change something that's already established and solid. She's going to try to change it. But you can change it all you want with your words. The facts are the facts, ma'am.
And they have you on,
facts, ma'am.
They have you on tape in the deposition, so all they have to do is play that again and say, so you're saying this wasn't true when you said that?
So when did you lie to us?
When did you lie, then or now?
Because that's what happened to Eric. He contradicted his own testimony somewhere else. And so,
yeah. And it's funny, like all the banks and stuff have so far, from what I've seen, it's from what's been reported that I catch little snippets of it here and there. They're all saying, if we knew that they were lying to us, we wouldn't have, there's no freaking way we would have given them money. Oh, and that's what I don't understand. Like normal people like us, we want to get a home equity line of credit. There's a person from the bank that comes out to your house and checks your home and does all this stuff. I'm thinking auction. It's not an auction. Appraisal. They come out and do an appraisal. Most people have an appraisal. But these guys, oh no, it's worth $35 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell him 35 billion? No, tell the IRS is only worth 2. Like, do they not?
You're in the real estate business. You should know a little bit about the value of properties.
Well, they have an appraisal company. Letitia James has gotten information from them twice, and they wanted to sue her the second time because they said that they were being picked on. And she's like, well, your numbers, you got funny math, so I want more documents. I want more information. And so, yeah.
And exactly, can't you? I mean, it's not like it's that difficult to look at what the appraisal is saying and then compare it to what you paid taxes on. It's not that freaking hard.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you appraising it at 35 billion, but you're only paying taxes on 2 million?
And how are you appraising it 30,000 square feet, not 11,000?
Yeah. How is your house 30,000 square feet on the outside, but only 10,000 on the inside? Like, make that shit make sense, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Marsha was saying in the chat that Ivanka didn't do a deposition for this. So
no, she tries to change something that has already been
established.
So it either contradicts her brothers or it contradicts
just the facts of the case.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're already set. They've already been found liable and fraud and all that other stuff. So she just may be changing everything. She lies. Period.
Yeah. They all lie. Their name is Trump. They lie. With the exception of the one niece that's trying to sue him to get her money back. What's Mary Trump?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's my next question. Since they all perjured themselves, I eat concrete, Sniffy, Ketchup Man, and now Vanky, Miss Maxi Pad, are they going to be indicted for perjury? Because I'm telling you, Johnie, he sat there in court, looked the judge in the eye, and lied to his face. To his face. Like, WTF, that's some cojones. Like, they get in trouble.
And Don Jr. basically threw Eric under the bus, the thump.
Yeah.
Concrete speed bumps.
Yeah.
You're be making some concrete petty boots and go throw yourself out in the ocean.
But those concrete shoes that they used to give people back in the day,
Uh-huh.
the mafia.
Swimming shoes.
Yeah. I heard they're very comfortable.
Well, these two popped out. Ten of Cups and Justice, that's family and lawsuits. So I'll say yes, and then there's the Hierophant and the Ten of Wands and the Four of Wands. It becomes a burden too with timelines in courts as well, because appeals and blah 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 and all this other kind of stuff. But yes, there is a huge unfortunate change coming for a family in the justice system.
I get the same thing. They're trapped. It's like, so rather swiftly coming in after them in victory. They've betrayed what they've said and tried to confuse everything. So I'd say like within a couple of months after this case is over, it'll move into that, and also looking towards criminal indictments. And I get there's a husband and wife in big trouble too. So that might be Ivanka and Jared getting under the pressure.
I got the man, the dog, and the fish. That's a yes. So if the man is Trump or Eric or Jr., I don't know. But yeah, I got a yes. Well, it's not Trump. It's one of the kids, or maybe both of them, because it's man, dog, and fish. So it was the man that was friendly and loyal that did all the business stuff. So probably Eric. But I don't know. It's just man, dog, fish. This one is the King of Diamonds. So take it for what you will. But yeah. So there's that. So can
we ask, will Letitia James get approval from the governor of New York to do criminal charges? Because that would involve jail time. Will she, and she isn't out of the statute of limitations yet. Will she get approval from the governor to do criminal indictments for these same charges? Because it's fraud. Bernie Madoff had to serve jail time, spent the rest of his life in jail. Fraud. But she could go after RICO charges now on all of them.
Oh, another RICO case? That should be fun.
She could do business RICO, fraud in New York.
I get that choice is already being considered and it's well on its way.
I get a yes. Because there's unfinished work. And it's already moving to higher ground, and there's hopes that they'll do this like within a couple of months here. Trump and everybody he partnered with. So I'm going to say RICO charges, RICO indictment. They're going to regret everything they've said. Everything. There's at least 3 of them, and Rudy Giuliani could be brought in on some of the RICO stuff too, because he did some business stuff with them. Somebody's going after him on criminal fraud.
Kitty Kisses is asking why she would need governor's permission to bring criminal charges.
It's how they set up the attorney general position in New York. They gave, like, for civil cases, they have unlimited power to go after. For criminal cases, they have to get approval from the governor's office. It's a little different than other states, but it's how New York State is set up. Who was it? Midas Touch, Michael Popak, whatever, had a great video on it explaining it, because he practices it in New York. It's how their attorney general position is set up.
Mm-hmm. What'd you get, Johnny? Sorry.
I guess she is going to have to work on her timelines, because there's something time-wise that she needs to stay ahead of. I don't think I don't know what it is. It's something time-wise she needs to stay ahead of. But yes, this goes forward, but it needs to go forward fast, because there may be a delay tactic that is trying to be implemented here with the hangman. And so, yeah, she will get approval.
And I had gotten the Crossroads, the Ship, and the Rider. It's that choice, that decision is well on the way. It's already on the way. Like, they're already what it looks like. So, yeah, but Cuomo isn't there anymore. Cuomo got
It's
out.
Hochul, the lady Democratic governor.
Yeah, Cuomo got outed. He ain't the governor. So Glenn Youngkin over there in Virginia just admitted, oops,
I did it again.
Yeah. We purged 3,600 voters from the rolls, even though we start voting this month. Tuesday. And I will say this. I don't know what the laws are in other states. I'm in California, but I am pretty effing certain that if you get turned away, you are within your right to request a provisional ballot. They have to give you a provisional ballot. If you are in Virginia and for some reason you go in to vote and you find out that you're no longer on the rolls, get a provisional ballot, because they're supposed to give you one. So I was listening to Mark Elias, who's been very, very good about suing a bunch of states for voter suppression, gerrymandering, voter purges. His law firm has been really, really good about that. He was on with Brian Tyler Cohen, and he sounded like, well, there's nothing we can do other than the voters requesting provisional ballots. But they found out too late to take it in for action, and voting either already started or starts this week.
Probably already started because election day is Tuesday.
Okay, so can we ask, will that voter purge benefit the Republicans? Because there's no we don't know the data yet. When I watched that video, Mark Elias didn't have specifics, but I can guarantee you it was in areas where there's a Black majority, a minority majority, and in most Democratic areas where they probably purged the votes. So 3,600.
Yeah, they're conveniently not saying which areas got the most purges.
Yeah. So if you are in Virginia and you see that you are not on the rolls, tell them, do not walk away. Do not walk away. You are within your right to get a provisional ballot. So
and as they say, know your status, check it now.
Yeah. So will the purge help Republicans? And it's very important. That Virginia race is very, very important because it sounds like they're trying to do the same thing that North Carolina did by taking over everything in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we need to ask about Idaho too, because Idaho's doing the same damn thing. I see you, Peggy. I see you, Mom. I know, dirty effers. What'd you get, Johnny?
Yes. Starting in 6 of Wands, there is hope, inspiration, and then victory. Because if something has been pressured, 9 of Wands, and limited, 8 of Swords.
Strength to Republicans because they got their plan off the ground. It's going to create a lot of chaos, and it will constrict votes. There's going to be legal issues over it, though.
I get the fish, the ring, and the coffin. The majority, the many that are committed, loss. Because they're trying to do, it's like all these red states are looking to North Carolina's blueprint of how they slowly took over the entire state and ceded their power to where good luck prying it out of them, because you can't even take them to court because they've messed with even the state Supreme Court. So can we ask about Idaho too? Because Peggy was saying that they're doing the same thing in Idaho, purging the voters. Yes, that one too. Lying and cheating for conservative success. Snake lilies and sun. Ohio's doing the same thing.
Yeah, Ohio's got their big resolution they're voting on Tuesday. Uh-oh, she's back.
Like they just can't play fair. And meanwhile, the Dems are like, oh well, we don't know what to do. It's like, start playing dirty too. How about that? How about that? I'm not saying it was black districts, Charlie, because that data has not been published yet. I'm just speculating that I guarantee it's going to be where all the minorities and blacks and Hispanics are, because they vote Dem, except for the idiots in Florida. And
they're all speculating it's in minority areas.
As a Cuban American, I do not understand how these morons in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, or anywhere else in Florida, you can vote Republican at this point. I don't get it. I don't get it. The man makes Castro look like the freaking a Boy Scout, you know?
There's something new they're working on in Idaho that's a cover-up. It's to sway votes away. There's something surprising getting ready to come out on that. I'm getting a Tower moment. So something is going to break down on this. I'm not sure, but there's something that's going to grow out of what's going on in Idaho. I feel like there may be some sort of investigation and
or
what is it? Transparency, like when they try to get information for transparency.
Oh, the Freedom of Information Act. FOIA.
Yeah, it's something like I feel like the media is going to do something to try to get transparency on this. There's something they're trying to keep hush hush in Idaho. I don't know what that is, but it's gonna get exposed. Thank you, Margaret.
Thanks, Margaret. What'd you get, Donnie?
Yes, the Ace of Cups confirmation and the Wheel of Fortune, it benefits them especially over time. However, I think what they may be trying to keep concealed for Swords and for Pentacles is the finances behind this. Because if you trace the money, then you can trace the motive. And so there is some... this is not what the read says. I'm saying this. There is some racism attached. There is some sexism attached. And what this thing is saying, because the Six of Swords is how a Two of Swords and Six of Swords. So this is not set in stone, basically. What this is going to come down to is a voter turnout. And they're expecting it to be low, and then you can cut it even more by purging these people. And so then you have absolutely no chance of losing. But if you can get a Joe Biden effect to where its numbers too big to fail, then all of this becomes null and void. And so that's what they really need, is a huge surge. If you know somebody, take somebody type of thing. They need that type of thing because there is a whole lot of money in campaign behind keeping things concealed and keeping things sort of under lock and key.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna move on to some petty shit, so get your boots ready.
Can we look, before we get off voting, can we look at how Ohio, because Republicans are really targeting right now with ads Ohio, can we look at how that vote on the resolution to keep abortion free and clear for all, will that pass? Because it already passed in the pre-election thing, and there's a lot of dirty ads running right now in Ohio over this. Proposition 1. Thank you, Rose.
I asked, will the people of Ohio still have access to abortion care? I get yes. Clouds, whip, and dog. There's something about the way that they're putting it out there. Maybe it's the resolution itself that makes it very confusing. So maybe it's the way that the resolution is written. Like they make it sound like, yes, if you vote yes, it actually means no. Do you see what there's something about the way that it is that it's confusing. That brings up a lot of arguments, but I asked, will the people of Ohio still have access to abortion after the resolution? And it's clouds, which is a confusion, the whip, which is about sex and arguments, and because the clouds comes before it, it's almost like they stir it up to make it even more confusing. But then it ends with the dogs, which is loyal, friendly, trustworthy. So look to people that you can trust. So perhaps these are caretakers and doctors, abortion care clinics, that sort of thing to clear it up. But it's looking like, yes, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for anybody out in Ohio, but it's looking like they will have access afterwards.
Yeah, I get there's a lot in agreement. I get big women in particular, big yeses, and are going to manifest a win on this. So it's, the plan's already off the ground. Like the women are already coming out in droves. They're going to revisit this later again in the future. So watch for it. They'll come up with something tricky somewhere down the road to try to put it on the ballot again.
I just, you know what? It's stuff like this that makes my inner misogynist really angry. And it's like, I would just to be petty, just to be a petty ass bitch. I would love it if a bunch of governors or a bunch of women that were Dems took over all these Republican states and tried passing mandatory vasectomies at the age of 13 and watch heads explode. Because they sure as hell wouldn't stand for it. You can tell us.
Get your insurance company to drop Viagra and then raise the price.
Yeah. Because if you're saying, pregnancy is God's will, so is limp dick. Okay, so just saying.
It ends in 10 of Pentacles, which is, there's some structure to this. There is something here about the doctors are coming forth with a lot of information, because there may be some. I know whenever I hear proposition anything, I'm automatically confused.
Yeah.
Because all I ever see is vote yes for Prop 4, vote no for Prop 4. But what the hell is Prop 4?
And
then
sometimes
when you look it up, it's like legal jargon is what it sounds like to me. And it's like, I don't understand what none of this means.
Or they purposely write it to where it is confusing, where you're sitting there like, wait, like it's a trick question almost. Like, okay,
yes, if you don't
really yes, or does my yes mean no? Yeah.
It doesn't say vote yes for legalize abortion, vote no for abortion ban. It's like, anyway, but they're here with the high priestess. The high priestess holds information. And it's not secret because you can't know it. It's secret because you don't know it. And so she holds back a lot of information. And then that's where the professionals come in and they sort of clear up a whole lot of stuff, especially OBGYNs. There is a lot of split, though, especially when it comes to the number of facilities that are available. And so something around that may be shrinking, or at the very least, it is still an argument about this. And so I guess we'll see. But ends in a yes, so I guess we'll see. Fingers crossed.
And it's like, what I don't understand about this whole continued push by a very small minority of religious extremists and crazies and lawmakers that are taking the money and going along with it is the nightmare of these red states, the public health issues that they're facing now with women who need access to abortions because of medical conditions. Either the child or the fetus is non-viable, the mother's about to die, like a freaking laundry list of nightmares. And yet, great idea, let's keep doing it. Like, what the F? Like that lady in Texas that just sued the state and won because of the no abortion bans. And the state had to wait, the doctors had to wait until she almost died to get an abortion. And then she got an abortion and she will no longer be able to have children because they fucked her up so bad because of some bullshit law. You're never going to give that back to her. You're never going to give back her body parts to ever let her have a child, because the way that you read a fairy tale book makes you think that that's in there when it's not in there. Like it's just, and then they continue, oh, this is a great idea, let's do it. When the majority of America, an overwhelming majority, is like, no, this is wrong, but
that's why they gerrymander. That's why they gerrymander. They want minority rule.
I understand they want minority rule. That's fine. Go live in that dreamland. But you're also facing a huge public health crisis when over half of your population that is female need access to abortion care, because guess what? Pregnancies don't all go according to plan. There's a million different things that could go wrong that you're going to require medical care. You know, it's like
you develop
land.
Cancer right after you get pregnant. I had a boss that happened to his wife develop breast cancer 2 months into her pregnancy and had to undergo chemo and stuff, which you can't do when you're pregnant.
You know, it's just there's a million and one different things that can happen during a pregnancy. And for some idiot that read the Bible that thinks, hey.
It was a very difficult decision for them, but they decided she needs the chemo because we already have 2 children that she needs to raise.
Yeah.
You know?
And all of this based on a myth that women are just running around getting abortions because we're too lazy.
Willy-nilly. Because we don't know how to keep our legs together.
Yeah.
And even then, that's still my business, not yours.
Exactly. And what is the obsession with sex? What the fuck is the obsession with sex? Who you having sex with? What time of day you having sex with? Are they male or female? Are they the same gender? Are you pregnant? When's your period? When was your last period? You know, it's like, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? A woman goes in one of these states to get a freaking abortion and they tell them no. You don't see any doctor sitting down talking to a man asking him if it's a good idea for him to get his nut chopped, a vasectomy. Nobody asks any questions. Oh yeah, you want a vasectomy? Sure, go ahead.
They aren't cracking down on child support issues either. Look at all the freeloading dads that don't pay child support. It's like, okay, if you're serious about making women have babies, then make them pay child support.
And then when that child gets old enough to go to school, we don't want to feed them. We don't want to clothe them. We don't want them to have health care. Like, what part of pro-life? Well, only pro-life when it's in the womb. And then once it's out, it's no longer a human. It's a tax liability. Like what? Make it make sense, you know?
My sister got a child support check one time.
One time.
You know how much it was? $17. There you go.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
And when you're not getting your child support, you usually don't have the money to take it to court to fight to get the back owed child support.
And then all these states were like, you know, there's teenage pregnancies. How are you going to get child support when the other kid's in school too? You're going to go after the parents? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense, you know, because it's stupid. And I'm sorry, it's like one thing that really ticks me off, but it's like I look at these women and I hear these horror stories and young girls that are victims of sexual assault, and it breaks my heart.
Date rape, everything else.
You know, I don't have
kids. There it is right there. If a child is a child upon conception, then pre-birth tax write-off, and you pay child support all the time that I am pregnant too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because mind you, if a woman was to be murdered while she is pregnant, you get charged with double homicide.
Exactly.
So why are you not paying for this? Do you own cross town somewhere because the man he's not pregnant, so he doesn't care? Why is he not being charged child support while I'm pregnant if this child is that important? And why am I not getting some sort of tax rebate and write-off because of this child that is not here yet?
Exactly. And then all the doctor's visits to make sure, and every time I've never been pregnant, but I'm sure it's kind of stressful for most women that are wanting that pregnancy. Every time you go to the doctor, you're perhaps scared or nervous that what if they find something? What if there's something wrong? You know, until that child is out and breathing, that's 9 months of hell. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're going to say, oh, too bad you had a miscarriage. We're going to wait till you get sepsis and almost die before we even intervene. So not only the trauma of losing a child, but then the trauma, like they just pile it on. That is unnecessary for a person, you know, like it's beyond cruel. And I wish I were Satan so I can greet these motherfuckers in hell when they go to the dark side. Anyways, off of that, I wanted to look at Sidney Powell.
Speaking of dark side.
Yeah, because she's over there just yapping away about her conspiracies that she was extorted and this, that, and the other thing. Are they going to revoke her plea deal? Because she just won't shut up. She will not shut up.
Even when a blessing is handed to you, you just throw it right back out the window. You're not going to spend the next 7 years in prison. They gave you probation, but now
you're just poking the bear.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go to prison. You just poking the bear. You're biting the meat with this bet, you know. So will Sidney Powell's plea deal be revoked?
Shouldn't have gave her one in the first place.
Oh no. I mean, you should have asked her. Should have asked her what planet she was on first. Just to make sure she was like there.
And if she says Earth, show her a picture and see if that's the one she's talking about.
Mm-hmm. She'll probably point a picture at a Jewish space laser over Marjorie Taylor Greene style.
Oh Lord.
Yes, Lauren. Exactly.
Because she's going to have to testify in the other trials, right? On Trump and Giuliani and all those guys. I think like eventually, but I think they want to like let her testify and catch her in perjury. So catch her lying. So for right now, they're like collecting evidence on her. They're not done with her yet. She will get a tower moment upon her, but she might get away with it for a little bit until she lies under oath when she's committed to testifying in other court cases when it moves forward on the other people. So she's going to be put in defense mode over all of this eventually. But I think they want to get her on perjury too. It's kind of like Mark Meadows, which I hope we're looking at tonight, whose publisher is suing him for $1 million because he lied
about everything.
Oh wow.
Uh-huh. It's like these people couldn't tell you the truth to save their lives. It's like they're incapable of it.
I get it secure for now. Bonnie Willis and the Star. It's secure for now. Depends on what goes forward with the Seven of Cups. She's on the precipice, so she can really F this up though, and they're listening. So just keep that in mind. If you are ever in a room with 10 or more people, one of them's got a microphone and it's on. I just want you to know, right?
I get the anchor, the child, and the fox. She's achieved innocence, like Johnie said, for now, but it ends in the fox. So right here, this manipulation and everything, watch your back, girl. Watch your back, because they're watching you. So Mark Meadows.
Yeah, All Seasons Press, his publisher, kind of like All Seasons Adult, Four Seasons Bookstore with Giuliani. All Seasons Press
is suing Mark Meadows for lying.
For over $1 million for lying in his book because they paid him.
How much money that book made? Because first of all, MAGA doesn't read. They don't read. They don't. If it's not a conspiracy on the deep web, they don't read. So it's not like they're going to go to the bookstore and buy a book from Mark Meadows.
They fronted him $350,000, and it hasn't sold enough to warrant that. I think they said they'd sold 60,000 copies, but the estimate was like it dropped off once they saw that he had lied in the book, because it was in the contract that, you know, as a memoir, this is the truth and everything from my perspective. But once it came out that he had lied, you know, according to what Jack Smith's got and evidence that Bonnie Willis has and everything.
So he only sold 60,000 copies?
60,000 copies, and it dropped off, you know, immensely once everybody realized he lied in the book. Like, who wants to read it if he lied in the book?
Look at Mark Meadows. What would make you think he would be honest? like really? I mean, really? So, okay, so he didn't even make $350,000 worth of sales.
They're trying to get the $350 back, plus defamation of, like, it hurt their publishing reputation because they published lies.
Well, hello.
And they're a conservative book. They're known for publishing conservative books.
Hello. If you're in the business of publishing conservative books, maybe hook them up to a lie detector first, because they're all liars.
Or maybe stop publishing conservative books.
No. So what's the question?
Will the Adult Seasons Press win their lawsuit against Mark Meadows?
What did he lie about?
That he said in the book that the election was stolen, that it was very clear that there was lots of evidence, and then he turns around to Jack Smith and says, "No, Trump. I told Trump." Cassidy Hutchinson even said, Mark Meadows knew that.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Where the F was the editor? Did nobody edit this book? Did nobody read that and go, he's saying the election was stolen? We know it wasn't. Let's publish it anyway. Did he not have an editor?
It was the $350,000 was paid to him in January of 2020, like right after January 6th. So it was going to be a memoir, and it was published like 2 years ago or something like that. So the proof that he knew it was a lie,
yes, but
is
did
just
they
now
not?
coming out.
But still, where was the editor? Because any editor should have caught that right off the bat and said, we can't publish this.
There's been no proof in the courts
yet. But it's also a company that publishes conservative-leaning books. Now, not to say all conservatives lie, but if you have one that's coming out of a cantankerous administration, he's probably lying about something, because he is one of those people that was sitting right next to Trump when they were coming up with all this garbage. Do you think he's really just going to spill the beans in your company and be like, hey, here's everything I know, but I'm not talking to the court?
Yeah, he was sitting there playing Pokemon on his phone while the insurrection was happening.
They know what they was doing.
Yeah. So I get the mice, the key, so something stolen that was significant, and then finances. Yeah, they'll get the money back. They'll get it back. Or they'll get the lawsuit money. If you memoir, Joyce, the editors and the publishers still have, I don't want to say they kind of do have a liability. The author would become a liability. They're still responsible for what they're putting out. So that should have never made it past the
especially if you're going to also sue him for damaging your reputation.
Yeah.
So if your reputation is on the line, then you should go a little bit further to make sure that what he's putting out there does not damage your reputation. And now it did. So oops on you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I get Judgment and 9 of Pentacles, so they will get a large payoff. I don't know how much exactly, but there will be some sort of payoff. As far as reputation goes, I wouldn't worry about it. The World and the Fool, people who trust your publishing company's stuff that you put out probably are not that bothered by this. So I don't know if you're going to get defamation money, but at least should get the money you paid him.
Mm-hmm.
I get. Yes, they'll win, but they may get blocked from getting the money. Like they may have a really hard time fighting to get the money. Like, where's it at now? Because he's spending it on lawyers now. Hello, he's got other legal problems. He doesn't have the money.
You better call up Harlan Crow and what's his face, Clarence Thomas over there in the Supreme Court. See if they can hook you up with a pay. What is it? A cash advance?
Call J.G. Whitworth.
Uh-huh. I mean, these people just stop criming. Maybe. And then Mike Lindell's over there. I'm broke. Johnie just read on this. Was it yesterday or the day before about those little machines he wants to put into that?
Which is fishy in and of itself. It's like Sidney Powell. You got a plea deal, and you're going to sit there and be stupid and say, "Oh, I was coerced."
I'm just sitting here going, "Please do it."
Spending time in jail. Same thing with Mike Lindell. Shut up You still have lawsuits with Dominion and everybody else, Smartmatic and
No,
everything.
I'm over here going, do it, because you're about to commit a shit ton of felonies, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. One less idiot and a bunch of other idiots that just kind of, it's like the trash takes itself out. You no longer have these people voting.
Like, who's the stupider businessman? Mike Lindell, Eric Trump, or Don Jr. or Trump Sr.? I mean,
Okay,
they're all idiots.
Who's the dumbest businessman in the Trump?
Mike Lindell, because those other ones were trying to get away with crimes. He spent all his money trying to prove a criminal's not a criminal.
Not committing crimes on behalf of the criminal. That
Yeah. You got yourself sued on top of that.
I have the evidence.
Do I have a pillow card? Is there a pillow card in tarot?
A what?
A pillow card? Maybe Four Swords of Moon or something.
Maybe the moon, nighttime, or
That's
yeah.
what-
I'm going to go with Moon.
Pillows, magnets, satellites. That's the
That's
first
Moon
card
for
I
you
pulled.
too? Okay.
Mhm. So I'm just going to say right off the bat, Mike Lindell. Something about nighttime, pillows, magnets that are delivered by an executive bear with a lot of money. You ain't got no money no more. I would say Mike Lindell based on the spread. The moon, the stars, and the rider.
I get Mike Lindell for following Trump, for getting caught up with Trump. Yeah. For doing his beck and call.
What'd you get?
There it is. Mike Lindell and the bids, because he ruined his own business. The other ones are crime syndicates. He was not involved in this at all. It involved himself. And then there went your fortune, there went your reputation. Now you're getting sued and you can't pay. You can't get lawyers. You can't even get. Bless your heart.
Mike Lindell.
Not
I hear Eric pours concrete. Why don't you pour some concrete pillows and sell them?
this guy, I mean, all that crack must have done something to his brain, because like this guy had it made. He was a bazillionaire. Flushed it all down the toilet for an orange con man
who is not going to give you anything.
He's like,
Val probably had a very successful law business till she lost her mind and went MAGA and got into all the QAnon crap and hooked up with Mike Flynn.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so, all right, hold on. So Michigan is trying to keep Trump off the ballot.
Oh, like Colorado?
Mm-hmm. So can we look at Michigan first and then Colorado? Because remember, I think last time we read on it, we said that others would follow suit. I think I was not actively listening to the court case in Colorado to keep him off, and the lawyer, I'm like, the lawyer that was defending for Trump to stay on the ballot, he's like, you can't call this an insurrection. After they just showed a freaking 30-minute long video of the insurrection, he's like, this and I'm like, no, it's Woodstock in front of the freaking
Trump's lawyer in Colorado is the one that, like it back in 2017 or whenever, fought and won that the Secretary of State has the power to refuse to put someone on the ballot. So he's getting his own case cited against him in court. That's who Trump hired as his lawyer.
Talk about the irony. So he put that law, he got that
law in the books, basically.
And now he's trying to undo it for Trump.
Yeah.
Because this that you just watched with your own eyes was not an insurrection. That was a peaceful protest.
Not to mention, you just watch with your own eyes everybody that tried to do something for Trump gets the thump. And now you want to be the next one? Go right ahead.
Go right ahead.
I'm pretty sure they're going to find something you've done last summer, and they're going to bring it up. And you're going to be in court. You're going to need 2 lawyers, and you're going to drop one. You're going to lose the other one. You're going to lose all your money, and then next thing you know,
CC Ryder is saying
your attorneys are going to get
MSNBC, there are currently 18 states trying to keep them off. Currently 18 states. Thank you, CC.
It's going to be a fight, though. This one here, Page of Pentacles, there's your ballot, and then the Death card. So there will be a change. Someone is going to try to reverse it and reverse it and reverse it, but that's not going to really work. But this is not going to end until the end of 2024. But I think they do get a change to the ballot, though.
I get the box, the cross, and the letter. It's going to be hard work, and it's going to make it very difficult, but then there's some sort of result that comes out of it. And then I got one more, the dog. Yeah, the dog is a positive card, so it's looking like yes, but it's going to be hard work. Very, very hard work. And then with this is mail tests results. It could be the ballot. So it might be difficult before the new ballots, but eventually. So yeah. What'd you get?
I think yes too. I get like it's a little iffy, like how it's going to go. It's a little treacherous, but I do think that they'll get it changed, legally with the King of Swords here, to keep him off the ballot, to keep the loser off the ballot. So I get a surprise. Yes, they will be successful, but it's a little touchy.
Can we look at Michigan? If Michigan will keep
that was Michigan, wasn't it?
That was Colorado.
Oh,
okay. So we'll do Michigan.
I'll do Colorado because that was Michigan for me because I focused on Michigan. Sorry.
Okay.
Me too. That's Michigan.
I mean, I don't know. I would have to look at a map to see the electoral college votes because, okay, that's 2 states, but that may not necessarily be the ones that pack the most punch as far as the electoral college, so I don't know what sort of an impact that would have, but it would be interesting.
I mean, every state, if there's 16 considering it right now, every state that they can keep them off the ballot, that's
CC said there was 18.
18. Even if 5 of them, that would hurt him tremendously if there are 5 states.
He has to make it to, what's the number?
270.
270
with the electoral college vote. That's why I was saying it would be interesting to look at the map, because, okay, let's say hypothetically, he loses Michigan and Colorado. Well, there are not really that many electoral votes compared to, let's look at it, the southern state that have the most electoral.
Like Texas.
Yeah, like Texas, because, that's Jim Crow 2.0, so I get a yes taken away and an offer for the elections. So I got a yes on Michigan. What'd you get, Johnny? Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
I think Colorado is going to win theirs to keep him off. There's a lot of support for it, but I think they're going to have some problems, like somebody taking it to higher court, maybe. So it's not done. There's unfinished work with it, even though I think they'll win. But I think ultimately they'll be able to keep him off the ballot in Colorado.
I get he's not going to win it, but I don't get removal because here's your votes: 7 of Pentacles and then 10 of Swords. So that's a no. But it starts with 2 of Cups and Knight, or 2 of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So it's almost as if there may be an effort to write in or some sort of Facebook something like, hey, make sure you write it in because he's going to take him off. There's some other kind of effort to make sure that he stays somewhere present within the Colorado ballots and politics, but it's not going to work whatsoever. But I don't know. I don't get taken off the ballot. But I do get losing Colorado.
Well, it's a blue state anyways. So even if he was, he wouldn't win it.
Yeah, there's no chance for that.
So I'm moving on to the petty question that I had earlier, and we went off to something else. Ron DeSantis not only got caught lying about sending weapons to Israel, which he did not do. He was lying about it.
They say he did?
I saw Lori reading about it a few weeks ago. I guess he had come out and said that he was, anything to get political points because he's running for president, that he was sending weapons and all this stuff to Israel. Well, one of the main people over there was like, no, he didn't. So that's
He doesn't have that authority.
No, it's like, are you circumventing the Department of Homeland Security? Because, by the way, we have laws in place for that. It's
contraband if you're doing it.
There's important export controls. You can't just ship whatever the hell you want. It's like, for the
most he lied about having lifts in his boots, but oh well.
That's what I was going to ask about. Now everybody's dragging his ass because he thought it would be cute to go out wearing a suit with these cowboy boots that had like heels this high. It's like, I'm like, are you a cross dresser now? For as much as you went after you're wearing heels, really, Ron?
Every interview they ask him about his lifts.
I mean, we've gone from 3-finger pudding man to wearing lifts on his shoes. I mean, the guy, he's just.
I really almost went as to Satan for Halloween, but I was like, how do you read cards when you have pudding on your fingers?
Oh my God.
You don't want brown pudding on your face either. That looks like something else.
Everybody is just dragging on him right now. It's like nobody likes you. The only person that likes you is your wife, and I bet you she don't. Deep down in her heart, she probably hates you too.
She jiving too, as they.
What's our question?
So I want to know, what other stupid thing is Ron DeSantis going to do that he's going to get made fun of? Because this guy he just kind of self-owns himself. Like he's just so dumb.
He trolls himself.
Yeah, he trolls himself.
It's around his vanity.
It's around vanity. Well, he's going to start painting himself orange now too.
The Knight of Cups to look pretty in public, so maybe it's a makeup thing. So let me see what else again.
Okay, so what will Ron DeSantis do to get made fun of?
I wonder if his makeup runs. Oh my God. You got the cheap kind? Is that what you did?
Or he smears his makeup when he's wiping his snot off his face to put it on somebody?
Good old Dollar Tree cosmetics, I guess.
I'm getting the same thing, Johnny. It's something skin related.
Oh.
Skin related, so and ego related, so Botox or makeup or something. I feel like it's something that's applied.
It's something to make him look pretty. Knight of Cups, Empress, there's the star, and then the moon. It's the internet sleuths will be on this one a lot because it's something different about him. It stands out to those who watch this type of thing, but they don't pinpoint it right away, I guess, and then they start looking carefully, or they start to maybe not pinpoint it right away, but maybe they're looking for the particular brand, or there's something.
He may be manipulating it too to hide a growth.
A pimple, a boil on his face,
or a growth.
I get the lilies, the letter, the cross, the dog, and the rider. I'm wondering if this SOB is going to go out and like adopt a senior dog or something to walk him around to look more personal. Because you know how people say he's like a robot, he doesn't show emotions. Well, people love dogs, and it's like, well, most people love dogs. You see somebody with a dog and you're thinking, oh, that person's friendly and loyal. I'm wondering if he's going to get a lot of shit for like. Does he have a family pet?
He's got kids.
No, not kids. But does he have a family pet? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but it's like when you have kids, why would you adopt a senior dog? You would think that you'd adopt a younger one.
Kids are kind of part of the political package. Dogs say something completely different about a person's personality.
Yep. So it's almost like I'm wondering if he's going to get a dog that's more like a prop. So maybe the dog is on loan, like
maybe the dog has lifts in its booties.
Yeah. So maybe he gets something like a dog or some sort of a pet that he takes out to walk around and stuff. But he has trouble with that dog. That dog is difficult, or it's like Lily's letter and cross. It's like he's looking for a senior dog that's a little bit easier to handle because he has difficulty walking them.
That's one of those heavenly petty type things to where God is petty too. Where you go out and you go and try to get a photo op dog, and then God blesses you with the most difficult dog you could ever find.
It's almost like one of those things. He's going to get a dog on loan to, hey, look at me. I can be trustworthy. I'm a nice person. I have a dog.
And then it like runs and then like pees on people. And it's one of those to where it just embarrasses you after embarrassment after embarrassment. And that's what you get.
This is what I'm getting is saying Rick Scott adopted a dog when he was running for governor. After he won, he dumped the dog. See, it could be like one of those things. It's like a prop. It's like a pet prop or something because he knows that people are like, yeah, no, dude.
The Rick Scott's is probably a senior dog now, so maybe he's going to re-adopt it.
Yeah, something like that. He'll do a decent move. Okay, so we read on Mark Meadows' lawsuit. Okay, so with all the stuff that's going on in these red states with the local governments between governors and state secretaries and all that stuff purging voters, will the DNC start? And by the way, let me say this. Last we heard, the RNC wasn't doing too well. They had 12 million on the books because Donald Trump basically sucked them dry. Kevin McCarthy was a really good fundraiser for the GOP. Well, they booted him.
And now they got
now they have the crazy man who has no idea what he's doing, and he doesn't have the connections, I guess, that Kevin McCarthy did to be able to fundraise at the capacity that McCarthy was.
He hadn't been in the House that long. Like he is not experienced enough to be
no.
a speaker.
So I'm thinking their fundraising is not good. So I want to know, will the DNC start focusing more on down ticket, very important ballots in these states that are swing states or purple states with all the shenanigans that the Republicans are doing to get themselves in a position to where they can control all levers of government at the state level?
What was the guy's name you were talking about that's involved in some of the lawsuits and stuff and following
Mark Elias.
He was talking the other day that the biggest risk in 2024 is voter intimidation at the polls. So do go in groups because they're expecting a lot of these MAGA trash people at the polls.
And not just that, I'm going to go... I need to find out there should be some sort of a directory because everybody's state is different, but that's illegal. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely illegal. Like that is a felony to my knowledge. So if somebody comes up and tries to intimidate you on how you're voting, why you're voting, you shouldn't be voting, whatever, there should be some sort of way, some number at your area you can call besides the police.
So here's my thing too, because I've been hearing about, because I haven't kept up with it or anything. I've been hearing about voter intimidation at the polls since Obama. Has it ever happened though? All I do is hear about it. I don't ever.
It's happened.
So here's my thing.
Remember when the whole stop the vote, keep the vote, stop the vote, keep the vote. Before that, when people were going to the polls to vote, they were being intimidated by groups. Mm-hmm. And then the MAGA people were getting in as poll workers and actually intimidating voters as they're trying to vote.
And the poll workers, Ruby Freeman and down in Georgia. So
it got really bad under Trump. Like he gave them license to do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And it was just okay. So it has happened.
Certain counties it's worse than others. So.
Mm-hmm. So what was the question, Johnie?
I don't know.
About the DNC.
Will the DNC focus more on the down ballots in purples
and flipping these states?
Purple states? Yeah,
they've got to flip the states if they want to get control of North Carolina again.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. That's not going to change until the next census, whenever that is. At least that's what Mark Elias was saying. There's no way to overturn it now.
That census was probably jacked up because it was done during Trump's administration.
Yeah, what was that guy that looked like the crypt keeper? That super bazillionaire guy with the fancy slippers. What was his name?
Wilbur Ross.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
I get no and yes. Queen of Pentacles and Hermit, that's my America card, and Hermit is searching and investigations, things of that nature. They're searching for strategies and answers more than likely. The Knight of Pentacles is right there too. It's almost like they are building a solid foundation, and this is where they're starting. And then once they add more blocks, then it will be a little more secure. But they're not at the point of security now. This is word of warning. And they're still fighting a lot of stuff, especially within the courts, and getting decisions, and stuff basically is not going their way. But over time, but the good thing is that they are still fighting this. So this is not like nobody's doing anything. And so the Wheel of Fortune, though, is time, and then there's your fight. So this is going to take some time. But as of right now, I do get the Five of Pentacles, which is a no, but the word of solace is the Star. And so what you do is you water the present and you water this for the future. So when we get to 2028, we will have a bigger foundation than we have right now. And so it's one of them things that where it just takes some time, but at least somebody is doing something to where down ballot does. And they're taking a lot of this to court. Bottom card was the Justice card. And so this is where a lot of that kind of stuff plays out. It doesn't play out in the media because it doesn't get that attention because Trump didn't say it. And so it doesn't get the attention that it should. And therefore, we don't hear about it all the time. But if you investigate, you will see somebody is still behind the wheel.
Like the little win they had in Alabama to have 2 new districts. I get a yes. They've got the tools to do this with now. But I get they're also counting on voters. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you ahead of time.
Maybe not. They're counting on voters that are sick of the whole insurrection and the big lie and all that. They're changing who they're voting for. And I do get victory for them in several states and changing. Might be by some thin margins, but they'll flip some states more blue.
I get the Heart, the House, and the Anchor. Yes, a lot of things are desired in certain area, local, more domestic, not so big on the national level, domestic, that they want to achieve. I get a yes. I got a yes on that. So on with the voter stuff. Trump has been going on quite a few of his little, he has to go get his narcissistic supply from his cult members and stuff. And the guy is sounding crazier and crazier by the day.
Yeah, he can't remember if he's in Sioux City or Sioux Falls and has to be told. He can't remember what state he's in, Idaho versus
jabbering on, loses his train of thought. Like, please come at me again at how senile Joe Biden is, and then go watch that video and tell me Trump is all the way there. Because the son of a bitch was losing it to begin with, so he was up there in a speech telling people, oh, don't worry about going out to vote. You don't need to go out to vote. We have enough votes. So he's telling Republican voters, stay home. Stay home. We don't need your votes. We have enough.
So is he planning on fixing the election?
I want to know if the dumbass cult members are going to be like, well, Trump said not to go, so we're not going to go. You can tell these people the sky is purple. Yep, the sky is purple. Trump
we have enough votes. Sounds like he's planning on either Russia or somebody helping him fix the election.
He tried that last time. It didn't work.
It didn't work. The only
He's blustering. That's just what he does. He talks. It's just...
The only reason it worked was because in 2016 he had the Russians helping him, and I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it so you can hate me all you want. Hillary Clinton is a hugely divisive political figure. You either absolutely hate her or you love her. There's no in between with the Hillary Clinton. So it was like the perfect storm on how he got into office. He wasn't able to replicate it again for re-election. He wasn't able.
He only won by electoral college.
And
She
that
beat
was
him in the votes.
She beat the
because
popular
Paul
vote.
Manafort-
Yeah, she won the primaries, so she was more popular than.
It doesn't forget. Yeah, I get it. The more popular and everything, but in this country, unfortunately, we go via electoral votes. And the genius behind that was Paul Manafort. He doesn't have Paul Manafort. I don't even think he has a fucking campaign manager. He doesn't even
need one. He has the press.
Yeah.
They were his campaign manager the first time. Everything he says, everything he tweets, everything he blurps on a speech somewhere, they put it out there.
As repulsive and incendiary as it is, you know. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We're on the freaking clown show, too.
The MAGA people still think he's the president anyway, so why would they go vote?
Yeah, the people that love the Constitution, the people that love the Constitution that forgot that little part right there that says, yeah, you're only allowed 2 terms because they took it away after FDR kept winning because people loved him so much, you know? So,
American leader. So there's my America card, Queen of Pentacles in the Emperor. There's your American leader. So I think there may be some actual people that believe he is still in charge. The 3 of Swords, or that he won the next go around. That's even if he is the nominee, but we'll see. But will he stay home? Some of them will. Because keep in mind, these are not informed people. These are people who are led by Donald Trump. Now, they're not a big majority, but there's enough of them to be concerned that they live next to you.
They're being led by the nose.
And I
don't understand it, Johnny. There's a part of me that wants to pity them, and then I see what hateful, awful people they are. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I just want to cut the brain open and see what's touching that shouldn't be and what's not touching that should be. That's all I want.
It's like, where are you short-circuiting? Where are you short-circuiting?
There's something here.
Jump the brain.
A is not going to be. A is going to like J, and that's not how that's supposed to be. It's something's wrong there.
What'd you get, Jennie?
It's not really answering the question. I get surprised for the celebrity. He's got more court stuff coming in here. He does have supporters, but I think he gets blocked from running ultimately.
That's what I get. The mountain, the stars, and the cross. Doesn't matter if you go out to vote or not anyways, because he's blocked and his success is burdened. It's difficult. Guilty.
Yeah,
so,
he's under the tower moment. So I don't think he'll be able to run.
So can we ask, because the tableau that I did on him only goes to March of next year. Okay, so the closer we get to March, maybe January or so, I'll do a new one.
Will Trump win the primary? Will he be the front runner?
You guys can read on that. I'll set this one out because I think Johnny's read on it before already, and we got that he would be the nominee. I'm pretty sure. I just want to know, will he be convicted by the time that voting starts? Will Donald Trump be convicted when voting starts for the next election?
Convicted on any criminal charges, not the civil ones.
Pick one. There's 91 charges, Jen. Pick one.
2 times impeached, 4 times indicted.
Yeah. Across what? 4 different jurisdictions, Johnny?
You got 91 charges.
91.
But that's the person you want to vote for again.
Started his presidency with a $25 million fine for his sham of a university. Just got fined with $3 million for his charity, and that got shut down. Now his business is being shut. What else do people need to show you that says this is not it?
And his Truth Social is about to go in the shitter because the investors want all their money back because that was a sham.
I don't understand.
I get the end of the guilty, convicted liar. I get the cross, the snake, and the coffin. I don't think he's going to be on the. I think he'll be convicted.
I think he'll be convicted too. There's going to be another whistleblower on something else. It's interesting, but they're also worried about his image. But I get they secure a conviction over his betrayal, or treason. So I think it's the Jack Smith one, that's going to be the big one that would take him off, from running.
Yeah.
And that's the end of him, done, toast, and then looking at jail time. It may go to a higher court, so they may keep him out of jail or under house arrest or something till it goes through the appeals. But I get he's convicted, and everybody that worked with him.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I don't get any. Well, I guess I do. I don't get a direct answer to that. I get King of Cups and Five of Wands. He is in a battle with DeSantis. This is going to increase as they get closer to voting time. This is not a battle for position. This is just a battle, period. And so I think DeSantis may be the person who may emerge victorious in that fight, because what's happening, what it looks like anyway, is the MAGA people are saying MAGA or bust. And DeSantis is like doing a Chris Christie now and saying they would not give Mark Meadows immunity if Donald Trump's not a crook, and then blah, 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 blah. So it's like they go back and forth with that type of thing. He's defending against a lot of changes, especially to his empire. The business is destroyed around that time, and something comes of that, which is what we read on earlier. And so there's something moving forward from that, and it continues, and that takes him through a lot of troubled water. As far as convicted of something, I don't have no idea. It didn't pop up in here. There's a whole lot of problems that he has to worry about actually beforehand, is what this is saying. Letitia James has got something else that she is going to stick into his. He's going to have a fight of image with Ron DeSantis. He's got something with maybe a Jack Smith that it has a Russia connection. And so remember, he had this collusion thing that now the statute of limitation is more likely gone on that. But there's some other little connection that's something else is added to that too. There's also some things about investing and investments that also get called to the carpet. So maybe this is something to do with his finances and taxes. So he's got a whole bunch of other stuff that's about to be a little more minor, but it's going to add a bigger headache, especially when it comes to getting attorneys. So I don't know. That's what I get.
If he loses all his properties,
how
do you run when you don't even have a home?
I saw where I think it was Midas Touch. I think I could be mistaken, because he's got so many LLCs, and I think Mar-a-Lago falls under one of the LLCs under Trump org, so he could lose or will potentially lose Mar-a-Lago. But then the judge,
because he has it listed as a business, not a home, also. For tax purposes and stuff.
Yeah, but I think
I hear Mark Meadows has a trailer he can rent.
Yeah, but because it falls under the Trump org, I'm thinking that's going to get taken away. And then the judge had also asked, I forget what it was. It was some sort of documentation. I don't know if he asked it from the accounting firm or the banks or what, because he wanted to follow the trail for the money laundering, which that's a whole nother freaking setload of felonies there. You can't tell me
how many businesses does he have? Because I know he used to just rent his name out.
He's got golf courses that just use his name and stuff, and
he licenses everything out, and it's all under those LLCs. And
so
he's got a
bunch Chicago of Tower, Trump Tower in Chicago. All they have to do is rip his name off and relabel it.
But all he does is just use them to launder money. It's just a front. you know, so you know that that's going to be a whole nother can of worms when they find out where the money. I'm sure it's not going to be super easy. That's going to be a paper trail that is probably a rat's nest, you know, but they have forensic accountants and stuff like that.
I'm going to ask, will he be indicted for money laundering?
Yeah, let's ask that. Let's end it with
he also, you know, his whole campaign finance thing is a crapshoot for money laundering too.
Oh yeah.
Will he get indicted?
Remember, Jack Smith was looking into him as well. I think it's part of the January 6th. I'm not sure if it's part of January 6th or a little bit separate, but wire fraud and all that other stuff, because he was raising money from his supporters to overturn the election, but he wasn't using it for that. So it's money. It's not money laundering, but it's wire fraud. It's finance fraud. It's a whole bunch of fraud. You know?
Campaign finance fraud.
Campaign finance fraud. Yep.
Because see, that last read said finances, taxes, Russia connection. I wonder if the money laundering has something to do with that, because I know a bunch of Russian people bought apartments from him.
Johnny. I mean, is the sky blue, my dear?
I Eat Concrete said we don't have to worry about money. We get a lot from Russia.
Yeah.
It's
just
but no collusion here.
It's just a matter of finding it in the paperwork, the paper trail, and proving it in court. And
because see, that read said that's coming. That something about that is about to hit the fan.
Because the judge in New York, I forget if it was the accounting firms or the banks, or he ordered somebody to give him all the paperwork because he wanted it to be looked at for money laundering.
Mm.
Well, that's a yes. It's like the investigator's already looking into it and who he's, you know, contracted to work with. He's already trapped in it. Bad news. And yeah, here you go. Another indictment.
I get that there's a woman already on it.
Yep, there's a female already on it. They're charging in.
I got the coffin, the woman, and the ring. So there's an ending and a loss here. It might be after this case closes, but there's a woman here that continues. She continues it. So it might be after this fine or this case closes, but she continues the work.
Yeah.
So it's like a separate thing, you know? What'd you get, Johnny?
Yes. I think the first place they should search is Trump Tower. There's your house. There's a tower. It could be a little Trump Tower. Something is blown open, though, here, because right now those records are they're part of something else, but they're not being utilized the way they could be. And so they will be utilized in other ways.
That looks like a tomb, too, like Chickamauga's grave.
The one his lover is in, possibly. But there is some information about things, the Fool and the Knight of Wands going in and out of the Trump Tower. And so, yeah, start there.
Well,
because I guarantee you there's a lot of occupancy, but not a lot of people. And so check.
Well, that's also what they were doing when he was president, remember? The salary would come and he would raise the rates and they would rent out a whole 2, 3, 4, 5 floors and nobody would show up. It was a bribe. It was a fucking bribe. It was a bribe in the light of day, and they did it because who was going to hold them responsible? The Republicans were all looking the other way.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are screaming at the top of their heads along with the rest of sane America, and they don't care. They just let them get away with it, you know? So whatevs. But that's all I got for y'all tonight. Next week will be on Johnny's channel. I'm not sure if I will be on next Sunday, depending on what I have. I have family stuff going on, so we'll see how that goes. So I may or may not be here, but we'll be on Johnny's. And then also this week is Veterans Day. So if I don't see you guys before then, thank you for your service and your sacrifice. For those of you that are former military or have family in the military, or, you know.
And for yours too.
Mm-hmm. And family, you know, veterans, whatever. Thank you so much.
And if you have election day this week, go vote.
go vote. And if they say you're not on the rolls, ask for a provisional ballot. Do not leave the line. Also check with your state, your local area on what numbers, what phone numbers or what helplines they have for that sort of thing. Stay diligent. Don't let those bastards push you around. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.